Hey guys. Hey, good morning. Hey, Muskin, Josh, Tanuj, Bhuvnesh. Shriti should be on today hosting. Um, I met with her earlier to make sure that she was going to do that, but she doesn't seem to be here. So I have a conflict today, unfortunately. I generally don't. Service Mesh Con is happening right now. I'm not able to host. Um, if Shriti doesn't show in the next 5 minutes, then we can reschedule for, well, I want to say Thursday, but I think KubeCon is still going on. So good. So Shriti has finally joined us. Good. I will hand off host so that she can continue. Okay. Talk to you guys soon.
And good luck, Lee.
Bye, guys.
Hey, good morning, good afternoon. Let's start off with Josh's demo of the Mega Memos, if that's okay. Josh, are you ready?
Yeah.
Great.
So should I share the screen or would you be sharing your screen?
Could you share your screen, or if you want me to, I can.
Okay, I will do that. Is my screen visible?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so according to the current sitemap and the decided like had inspiration from the previous layer 5.
Mhm.
So here we have like 4 menus: projects, community, learn, and blog. So I have included project, learn, community, and about and blog. So like for now we have the similar image blog post images in all of the mega menus, but we'll be thinking of like what we could be including in for the project section. So is are we going to include some news regarding the new projects, or for the learn section we could have a screenshot of the books or any workshop links or something like that. And similar to in the community part, we can like include the blog post of any meshmate, or the link to the mm, the link to the page with some photo, some image if we have for the meshmates program, and one for the events part. So the further progress, so I had asked Lee to hold on for now, because I thought that we could also include a few more things in this PR for the next mega menu update.
Okay.
And
Okay.
if there are any
Mhm.
suggestions for the like what we could be including on the right hand side for the, like if we see the projects part of the learn part or the community part, then like I would love to implement them.
I'll hold off my suggestions. Anybody else has anything to offer? Okay. I think it looks good for now, Josh. Any
Okay.
changes that needs to be done can be implemented after this. It definitely looks better than the last time I saw it.
Next, I would be demoing the background floaters.
Yeah, go ahead. Hello.
Yeah, it's just like I switched the branches, so
Oh,
it's being loaded. So like on the last call we had discussed about, let's see if it's
mhm.
there's some interesting. Okay, so is the my screen visible again?
Yes, it is.
So sorry for that inconvenience.
No
So
issue.
like last, as we have seen, there were few triangles or a few frills, like some icons that were floating in the background. And so
Mhm.
I tried to implement some of our projects, like if you can see this, the meshery icon or the image of and the SMP. So there was a suggestion like it's a little like it can be a distracting thing for the website, and like it wasn't as much effective as the already given ones. So like I tried to reduce the opacity, and this is the final like opacity I thought it would be best for them. So like does this look nice, or we don't need to have this?
Well, it looks good on my side.
I would
Um,
say that it's taking too much of my attention. Means I'm paying too much attention to that logos, and would have wanted to.
um, that's a fair point. Definitely a fair point. Let's add that to the pros and cons list and make a decision later.
Okay, and the I'll go for the third one in just a second. Third one we will have in the dynamic feature image.
By dynamic featureization, you mean?
Like the last time I showed the feature image for the blog post that were in the background, and it was like I had tried the same image for all the blogs. Like I had just
Mhm.
added the image. Like now as we talked in the website's channel that we would having it above the title and not in the full screen. So I implemented that part, and then I went to the dynamic part. So like each blog will have its own the thumbnail image that we are having would be displayed on the background.
All right. Can you share your screen?
Yeah, just a second. Okay, fine. Yeah. So like now we have all the feature images on the top of the titles, and like for each of them we will be having a different feature images. Like it's completely dynamic. So if you add a feature image in the thumbnail part in the MDX file, then it would be updated in both the uh, even in the thumbnail part and even in. So now there is an issue regarding this to be merged because the SVGs images are not being contained inside the division over here. So like I think that needs to be tackled in some another PR where we need to find some getaway, because this is a common issue. And like there is some problem with as you know earlier, like Gatsby has some problem with SVGs.
All right.
So
Hmm?
also a problem with the thumbnail part. So basically, Gatsby creates a wrapper outside the image, an additional div, I would say. So it sometimes interferes with the styling that we try to apply. So
So
still
in
trying to
some,
find a workaround
yeah,
there.
in some sections we can, like, even if we let it go to be full screen, but if we see this landscape part, then it would be very much annoying to have this, so we need to tackle it anyhow. So I think the current PR has much of already things what has to be done. So I'll think that I'll create an issue for the next the SVG fixture, and then we can see if we can get a workaround around it like that. Okay, that's all from my side.
That one's good enough, actually. Um, we could probably solve this by being more attentive in future blog posts
Yeah, so
on
like
our side.
uh,
Yeah.
no, there is a trade-off, because in the thumbnail part, if we see, then the SVGs tend to be a smooth transition while we hover on it. Whereas if we go into the single blog page, then the SVGs create an issue of the size. So like at one point we need SVGs to be in more in amount, because they are like more soothing for the transition part, while on the other hand there are styling issues with SVG.
All right. Can you explain the solution for that once again? I'm not very clear on that.
No, so the solution is to be found, like because the thing is, as Tanuj said, the when SVG is used in Gatsby using the queries, or so it creates a wrapper outside the div element.
All
No,
right.
it's the opposite. It's the opposite. It creates a wrapper around PNG.
So like the normal I have used the same styling CSS part for both for the common images, but the thing is the PNGs get contained in the maximum width or maximum height that I've stated, while the SVGs the the features don't apply to SVGs. Like the SVGs are not bound to follow, or I can say the SVGs are not like picking up those styles, and it is moving on to full size. So
All right.
we can't do like we as you said, we can't have something like we reduce the amount of SVG or increase the amount of SVG. We have to find some solution to display it in the content section. So that would be like I'll try to find, if Nikhil has some idea, then he can share. Otherwise, like I'll have to search for what I can do in that.
Yes, definitely. Is Nikhil on phone?
Yeah, I saw him.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, Nikhil, wanna weigh in here?
Yeah. So actually, the part for which the Josh was saying about. So when you shared the screenshot for one of the blog posts on using the feature image for the blog page, the one on the Nupur's feature image, the feature image for the Nupur blog post, that was also an SVG, also SVG.
Yeah.
So that was getting means displayed correctly. So how was that happening?
No, I saw it was on full screen. I'll share once again if you
Oh,
want.
actually, means it had a white background, so it was not quite visible, right?
Yeah, we'll
I
see.
actually merged that pair, and if I remember right, Nupur's feature image was a PNG, not a SVG.
No, there were like we
They
had
were both images, but
yeah,
the image that was in focus was a PNG
yeah. It
because of
was
this issue, I
no,
think.
it was in the Layer5 site. It was used as PNG, in the
Uh-huh.
layer 5 ng we first had png. Then we came across the thing that the svgs are more soothing to transform, like when we hover on it, they move
Uh-huh.
more good enough than the png, so we changed it to svgs.
Okay, gotcha.
So here I was talking about like Nikhil as, so this it gets to the full screen as I said.
Yes, that does not look good.
So the styles for all the image part is the same, but as this is a png, it gets contained in the styles I mentioned, while the images in svg format does not like follow the styles, or I can say there's nothing.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Um, all right, let's think on it and get back in the next meeting.
Yeah.
Great. Moving on. Tanuj, you want to discuss about the sitemap and the search plugins?
Yeah. So uh, currently we have enabled the sitemap plugin. I will share it.
All right. Um, you wanted to show something with the, I think, the search plugin.
Yeah. First, I will show the sitemap. Yeah. Currently, the sitemap has been enabled. Uh, so we need to change the URL which is being used. Uh, I created an issue for that, which will be changed at the last when we are transitioning the current layer 5 URL, I guess. And other thing I was working on was the search plugin. So there I wanted an opinion that I had two choices for that. Using a custom plugin that Gatsby provided, uh, which is called Elastic Lunar, and so that will basically index the site, and it is a little difficult to implement. I was trying to do it, and one other option is just using uh, a normal search. So basically convert the titles into mm, complete string and looking inside that string if something is occurring. So that may be a slow, I think, because if we get too many blogs, it may get slow. I'm not sure. So I wanted an opinion which should I choose.
Okay. I'm not very, very aware of the topic. I'll ask Nikhil for help on this, or anybody else who wants to weigh in.
Yeah, I'm facing some internet issues, so if you can repeat what was being said. Tanuj.
Uh, so uh, I was trying to implement the search option for the blog. So I have two options using the Gatsby plugin called Elastic Luna, and another option is just doing a simple search in which you basically search if a string is available in all the block block titles, I guess. Basically converting it to a huge long string and searching if it is there or not. So that may be a slow. That may be that may become slow, I think, if there are too many blogs. So should I choose the first one? I was trying to do the Elastic Luna, but it is taking a bit time, so it's a little hard to implement. Maybe I will able to do it in 2 or 3 days. I think it should be better, basically.
So if you are searching only the titles, searching for the titles or also the blog content.
We can do both in Elastic Lunar, but it will be too slow in the normal search, I think.
Okay, so you are saying the Elastic Lunar part is taking up a bit of time, but the normal one on searching both the titles and content is working fine.
I haven't tried to do the normal search part. I guess it will work, but I was just confused which one to choose.
All
Okay,
right.
so
Yeah, Kanuj, go ahead.
Yes, I just wanted an opinion which would be better. I will share the link of what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
okay, so you can do one thing. If for the time being, you can try on with Elastic Luna. If it's taking time, then you can do one thing. You can update a PR with the one solution, the solution which is working, and only for the titles, not the blog content. So for the time, it will run comparatively faster than the other one. And once you have the way to implement the Elastic Luna part, then I guess we can go on with that.
Uh, I shared the link of the Elastic Lunar part. I think I can implement it in 1 or 2 days. I think.
Okay.
Okay, then we can wait for 1 or 2 days. No issues.
Sure, we can take the week and think over it and get back to you. Is that okay, Tanuj?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not sure if Lee has talked about this yet or not, but we are having a large influx of contributors recently. All kudos to Anita and Ruth. I think Ruth is on call. So this is a great opportunity for anybody who wants to hand out any smaller issues on any larger pairs that you're working on, or basically on anything that you want to hand out, because we have people and we don't have enough issues to go around and they're looking to contribute. So that will be a good point to start.
think,
Okay. Mhm.
Okay, so
Go ahead.
if some of the new contributors are interested in contributing the new site, they can
Mhm.
start with migrating the news section. As we have already completed the blog part, which is almost, I guess, similar to the news part, it won't be a huge task or a thing to do. Yes, the code will be similar to that, just a minute changes will be there.
That's great. I will share a doc with you in which we're settling up with ideas on what issues we can create for the new contributors. It would be great if you could show the idea in there.
Yeah, sure. I will do it.
Great. If anybody else has any ideas of the such, I'll be adding a link to the meeting minutes. You can add any of your suggestions. We'll probably go through it once to deem if it's appropriate or not, and then convert them into issues, which hopefully the contributors will take up, and that will save us a bit of time. All right, moving forward. Tanuj, any progress in the blog layout? And Nikhil, if you want to weigh in there.
Yeah, currently, I was only working on the search plugin. The blog, can we have a final call on how it should look? So basically, last time we were thinking of removing the latest blog part from the right part. Uh,
And
this has
going for a grid
like,
versus list view.
yeah.
Yeah. Anybody has
Uh,
any
yeah.
suggestions on that before we move forward? You can go
So
ahead.
we actually have that. So means we are do considering that part, having a list versus grid view. So we can uh, start thinking on, or we create an issue for that to update that part. Otherwise, I guess the recent PR which was there from you, Tanuj, has it been merged by Lee, or is it still open?
Which
Uh,
page?
uh, which one?
The one in which you added yeah, the one which you added the tags, the ability to filter the blocks with the tags.
Yeah, it's been merged.
I think it's been launched. Yeah.
Okay, so if that's merged, then we can go ahead with the. So you have added the committed part of the code, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so is if that issue is not open, then we can go ahead and create an issue, and that feature can be implemented. That list versus grid view for the block spot. The
Okay.
latest block part is still a thing. Means we have not yet decided, as Dhruv is not on the call. I guess he was
Right.
looking for the head count of the, if head count is available for the blocks or not. So once we are with that information, then we can consider of thinking whether we can remove, whether we should remove that part or not, and how to display the blocks in the Megami.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Let's move on. Um, any other issues for the Layer 5 NG side that we need to discuss today? It's an open-ended call.
Yeah, so if there is anyone who wishes to go into some styling or some theme based coloring or like anything, like if you don't have interest in the code part, but if you have some ideas related to the theme or to the colors, anything, then you can always like reach out to any one of us, because uh, we will be looking forward to adding those like we will be looking forward to adding the theme to our website very soon.
All right. I think Neil and Pratay and Jaber were very interested in the project. If possible, they can probably weigh in on with a few suggestions here and there.
Also, if anyone on this call wish doesn't know, like if there are not any issues open currently, I think so. If anyone wants to contribute and doesn't know what to do, or then also they could ask on the website's channel, or any personally to me or Tanuj or Shriti or Nikhil, because there are things to be done but are not converted to issues yet. So if you could explore, and if you think you don't know what to do, then you can always ask for us, because there is work to be done.
Yes, definitely. We need to create more issues and we need to do it fast because, well, we have the contributors, but we don't have enough resources at the moment.
Yeah, so hi.
Um,
Sorry. If you want something to be done or there are some contributions needed, I mean, I would like to help out, but just need to know like what's supposed to be done or where are the areas, right, where we can like do some take up some work and then first of all like get started, like set it up in my local about the website, the project, and then um, just need some some guidance about how to contribute.
yes, definitely. Thanks for speaking up here. Anybody has any issues or anything that they need help with, contact Bhuvanesh. And for any open pairs, I'll be sure to direct them to you. Does that sound good, Bhuvanesh?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Now for the SMP side, following Nikhil's suggestions, I'll just share my screen here. That'll make it easier to understand. Um, is it visible?
Yeah.
Great. So we have a couple of points, I guess. One, there's an abundance of white space at a couple of locations on the site, which need to be either dealt with or removed or somehow, I guess, controlled. Any keep suggesting as you go here. I'll just point out the issues first. Another issue is with the blog layout here. So currently, the site opens up to this pop-up blog thing, which is not good because it does not open up to another page, and that's bad for basically any SEO related tasks. Also, it does not look very good at the moment, which is a hindrance at the very least. Another thing is the blog layout here, which should be a bit more um, in sync with the rest of the site and more symmetrical. Another thing would be, yeah, um, the contributors section here, the logos should be in a single line or should either have some kind of a horizontal scroll that it looks like it's in a single line instead of this two-line step. Fourth issue would be the color gradient here. So the feature image, the planet SVG that is visible at the moment, does not exactly subscribe to the exact same colors that we are using for the rest of the site. That is prominent for the Meshy side, the Layer5 side, and we need to change that. It's not a big task. It's somebody just needs to get down and do it. All right. Any suggestions? Any?
Yeah, so I have a suggestion. Like, I think the header's height is a bit like when you can you scroll down just.
Yeah, sure.
So I think the height of the header is a bit more because it is covering a large section of the entire screen. So if we could reduce the size of header by like we could reduce the logo size, then the header size would be automatically reduced by a bit. Like it's
You
a
mean the nav
suggestion.
bar?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we can do that.
So if everyone agrees, I have a suggestion regarding this, like open to.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
The second thing is there is much of padding in every section. I can say like there is so much of white space. Like if we see the title, like, can you scroll down a bit?
Yeah, sure.
Mm,
Okay.
more. To the when we see there are two sections intersecting, then we see a bit more.
Yeah, I think you mean here, right?
Yeah. So no, this one looks nice. I saw when you were first scrolled it, I saw something. Yeah, see this one could be reduced a bit. Like currently it looks like very long site. The single page site is like you need to scroll a lot to go down. So the same issue was also with the Layer5 ng website. So but it would be reduced because it is not a single page and we are going to remove sections from it. So if we could reduce the size of a few sections, like only reduce the white spaces, then it could make it smaller and more user friendly, I can say.
Okay. Uh, let's take a stab and identify the sections in which the pattern has to be removed. It'll be easier to create issues that way. I think one is here. Am I right, Josh? Okay. Just point out any section that looks awkward to you.
This newsletter thing is also the height, the before, like the title newsletter has much top margin above it, also the subtitle has much of lower margin below it. So like I am just saying, like if we could compact a few things, it won't uh, destroy the layout, or it won't harm, and it won't have any impact on the how it looks. But yeah, it would be a bit uh, easier for one to visit or scroll down if you could just compact a few things.
Yes, definitely. Okay, so we have two sections marked out. We'll work on those.
Maybe we could
Um,
reduce the page layout length. Maybe
Also, on the last meeting there
and
was a
tweak the footer
suggestion.
also.
Okay, go ahead.
Footer.
Go ahead.
I mean, I was talking about the footer. Actually, we can align them in linear way. Like there are two icons I can see there.
Uh-huh.
They're placed below the five. Uh, maybe uh,
Sorry, which section are you talking about? Just specify this.
footer,
That one.
footer, the below part.
Oh, gotcha. Go
And
ahead.
we can also bring the copyright part above those icons.
All right. Yeah, that sounds good actually. We need to reformat the footer section to include some more detail as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the copyright would be in the center, and all the 7 icons in the next row. That would be like what Pratik is saying about, right, Pratik?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, that sounds good actually.
Okay, there was a suggestion in the last meeting for the Layer5 website. As it was a bit lengthy, then we could add the top to bottom to top button on the page. So if that could be, like, if that could, I don't know who mentioned that thing, but if that could be added to this website also, it would be good.
Yeah, I mentioned that. Yeah, we can implement that over here too.
Okay, that actually sounds quite great.
How about like a Twitter feed kind of thing? Just to mention that who's talking about Layer 5 in the community or social media.
You
So
mean like
there's
the
like a,
Twitter feed that present on the left-hand side?
sorry, come again,
You mean,
please.
have you seen the Twitter feed available on the left-hand side?
I haven't seen that.
Um, so basically this.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah. I was thinking this can be like in the, that, kind of running as like a left nav bar on the news section or something where, you have like uh, discussions or the aware, like what people are talking about in social media or something.
Well, we do have a Twitter handle for SMP. It's rather new though, so I'm not really sure how much traffic we have at the moment, but that's definitely a good suggestion.
Okay, okay. I think I misunderstood that because I was talking about Layer 5, but this is more specific to SMP. Yeah.
Ah, okay. So the Layer5 Twitter handle on this side.
Hmm.
So I would be interrupting, like I don't think you would have seen the Layer 5 NG website we are building also has that Twitter section for all the tweets for the Layer 5 handle. So
Hmm.
they're already, that is already been done in the Layer 5 NG website. So I don't think, because for the SMP we won't be it won't be good to have the Layer 5 handle. It would be good to have the SMP handle tweets, but it can be done as a future job when we have enough of traffic, as Shruti said.
Yeah, I think that's fine because Layer 5 is more popular right now, so it doesn't need to be here on SMP.
Right.
And one more thing I was thinking is that are there like some screenshots, like some ways to show that how this thing looks like when like some results are displayed, or like
We actually
some
do have a
configuration.
GIF
Yeah, this
working
kind
here.
of thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
So SLP basically runs with meshing. You can't separate those two things at the moment.
Mm.
So this is a great way of pointing back to mesh trace back.
Mhm.
So this is good for the moment, I think. Okay. Any suggestions for the blog layout? Anybody?
I think the cards are not properly aligned or scaled. Whatever you say. Like the one on the left side looks a bit smaller, and the one on the right side or the middle looks
Yeah, yeah, they're
perfect.
done. Okay. So we need to move this to open in a separate page to have a post layout.
I think someone has assigned himself in that issue here.
Yes, we have an open. It's not been assigned yet. I think we have it's an open issue. So if anybody wants to take that up, that would be great.
No, no, no. Manish assigned himself yesterday, I guess, or day before yesterday.
Okay, that's my bad. Then we can let go of this one, I guess. Nikhil, any suggestions on the feature image?
Actually, I made a PR for that. The feature image, the gradient difference that we are seeing currently within Ava, I made some style tweaks, added a blend property in the CSS.
Mhm.
For after that, the gradient difference won't be visible, and so that would a bit make it better. And the logo part, which Jash referred on reducing the size. So I've added some media queries to reduce the logo size on reducing the screen width. So basically, it breaks on 992 and 768 to reduce it by 20 pixel each time. So it would look better in mobile devices. Currently, it looks much bigger compared to what it should. So I've reduced it
Nikhil,
low
was your
for
PR
it.
merged? The
No,
one
no.
you oh, it has been.
Actually, I was waiting for Lee's review. That's it.
I remember approving it. I did not
Yeah,
check
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Okay. Any
So
other
just
suggestions? Yeah.
uh, not for this site. I have two in general sizes. Pratyay, where you are you going to start working on the community members part for the Layer 5 site?
I'm sure I can.
Okay, so okay, you can start working on that. So, similarly, Bhunesh, if you want, means if you are interested, you can see there's an issue for the Layer 5 site. I don't know if that's available for the created for the NG site or not. We want just if you can go to the blog page for the Layer 5. Oh wait, I have opened the site. I will do it. Share this.
And let me
Just a second.
page it.
So yeah. So currently, what we want is that when we click on the author's name over here, we are redirected to a page, a separate page in which we'll be able to see the author details like his or her GitHub handle or some other information about him. It will be a general page which would contain all the community members' details, like we have, for example, for Docker community. It shows all the member details uh, in the page. So when we click on the author page, it will redirect it to the page like that, where we can see all the author details like this. On clicking on the on clicking on one of the author name, it will directly execute the query or add the author name to the link itself, so that something like this comes up.
So it's like a hero kind of thing that
Yeah,
you go
Yeah.
to that detail about that. Okay.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, so there are two tasks for it. One is the in general page, the community members page. Like this is a Docker captains, but we want for the community members page, like we have on the meshi.io site. It lists all the community members. Though it should have, there is an open issue to add the search or filter option in the page. I guess someone has been working on that issue or has taken up. So similar issue we would want to have similar thing we will want to have it in the Layer 5 NG site. Like we'll have a community member page in which all the contributors will be listed and all of their designations and will be meshmate, founder, or the contributor. We can have a filter for that and also have a search query available. And when we click on the author name over here, it will be directly redirected to a page which we will get on clicking on one of the authors.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So
So did
I
you,
don't know if there's an open issue.
is there an issue for this, made for this, Nicholas?
No, I don't know if there's an issue for that, but I guess we can. I will create an issue for that. If you are interested, then you can, Bhunesh, you can start working on that because it would be good to implement that.
Yeah, okay. You can create a story for that, and then I can yeah, kind of hook up with some of you to get more like specific tasks over there. That what you mentioned, about the search and the a list of contributors and then their detail pages.
Yeah. Or if just for the beginning, if you want to know the code base, then you can start working with the migrating of the news part. And it's very much similar to the blogs page, so you will get an idea of the code base on
So
migrating
can you
that.
tell me where is the which one is the repo, and I can.
Yeah, it's in the layer 5 repo only.
Okay.
And you have to change the
It's a
branch from
separate
master to
branch
layer
in
5
the
NG.
named Layer 5 engine.
Okay, got you. Layer 5 NG. Got you.
Yeah, you have to check out that branch and then you will have to go. And for building the site locally, the details are there in the README. You have to install the Gatsby CLI and the other dependencies. So
Mm-hmm.
there are two commands basically: make setup UI lights and then make site. Then you will be able to run the site locally.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Good. Anybody has any other issues they want to discuss before we end up? All right. Are there any immediate issues that need to be converted to GitHub issues? Anybody?
Sorry, Shruti. What did you say?
Are there any issues that need to be immediately converted to GitHub issues? If they are, you can either spell them out here or add them to the ideas doc for issues for the new contributors. That'll be very helpful. This is for everybody.
Okay.
Great. I guess that's it for today. Thank you everyone for coming in and bearing with me in place of Lee.
Shiti, I think there's some comment in chat
I'm
box.
sorry.
Can you check out
I
the
think
chat?
Pratyay mentioned something.
I can't. You're not audible.
Can you see the chat box? I think Pratyay has to show us something.
I
Yes.
think he's recommending a Flex Search plugin for the search instead of Elastic Lunar.
Oh, right. Sorry, Pratyay, I didn't notice that. Yeah, we definitely look this over. Um,
I guess that is a task for Tanuj,
Yeah, I will look it
if
over
you
to
can.
keep
Yeah,
easier part of it.
Another one
sure.
for you, Ganesh.
Yeah.
Okay, Pratyay, is it okay if we discuss it over and get back to you by the next meeting?
Yes, sure.
Okay. Ganesh, will you be willing to collaborate with Pratyay on this?
Search plugin.
Great, perfect. All right, I think we're good to go.
Right, thank you,
Thanks
guys.
for coming in, guys.
Yes, yeah.
See you. Bye-bye.